Welcome back to the Real Estate 401k show. I'm your house.
Are you like our high school?
Dude, I'm just drinking water. I mean, come on.
Get Ashlyn back in here.
Oh, yeah. I'm your host, Mike Weinstein, alongside Justin Frederick and Ryan Gertis. Day before Halloween. What do you guys do? Do you guys have any Halloween traditions?
Man, now that the kids are no longer interested in getting dressed up, our traditions are to, just kind of chill out. Now, our neighborhood, it's weird because they've kind of partitioned it off to certain areas where they, everyone focuses to where they're going to be passing out, candy and doing the haunted houses and whatnot. And our cul-de-sac isn't part of that because the homes are too far stretched out, and it's also a cul-de-sac, so kind of makes it so that the juice isn't worth the squeeze. So I think last year we had one vehicle show up and hit our little neighborhood. And so we had all this leftover candy and whatnot, or maybe it was 2 years ago, and it doesn't matter. So now our tradition is if we do anything that's Halloween related, we go over to one of our friends' house that's in that area that they literally, the fire department comes in there, barricades it off, and everyone parks over there, and they just go around the park and all the immediate homes in there, and everyone kind of congregates over there and hands out candy, and it's a pretty cool thing. But we're not in that concentration. So
and Justin, you live on horse property,
I do.
So I can't imagine you have trick or treaters unless they come by on a pony.
So we used to have a guy that lived down the street. He was an incredible man. He used to set up a tractor with a trailer, and he'd have two of them, and he'd put lights on them, and he would make the neighbors aware, like, hey, we're going to be stopping by about this time. He'd load up all the kids on these trailers, and he would drive them through the neighborhood. They're all dressed up. He's got like little fire pits and stuff on these trailers, and
he's got fire pits on the trailer.
Yeah,
With hay.
yeah, with hay. But
That's cool.
It was cool. And he would drive us through, and then we would take the kids over to their uncles, and we'd go through those neighborhoods. But this year, we're actually going to do something a little different. We're going to go to a trunk or treat, and then we're going to sit out in front of the house and actually hand out candy this year. So I'm pretty pumped for that because normally we're just scrambling all over the place, going to different locations all within the same night. So it's pretty busy.
Yeah, for us, it's been the same thing for years. My youngest, who's 15 now, he stopped being interested in trick or treating at about age 7. He's a homebody. He'd rather sit at home. So every year, we stay at home, and my wife and my youngest Bri, they watch a scary movie. That's just kind of their thing, and they went through the It's, and who knows what they're onto now. And so I get to do the candy. So I sit outside. I got a nice little table and a stool out there. I got a smoke machine. So every time a kid comes up, I'm just, I love it, and hand out candy, have a cigar, and have some bourbon. It's fantastic for me. Like, I wish every night was Halloween.
Oh, yeah.
So I guess we do have somewhat of a tradition. We always go to this one Halloween party every year. A couple of close friends of ours, and they go all out, and they have this gorgeous property, and it's decked out, and they're big time, kind of like they kind of base it a lot off of Disneyland, like the Haunted Mansion there. So there's it's decked. Here's the problem: I forget about it every single year. Right there at the entrance, they have this like whatever haunted doghouse, and it has a sensor on it. So the moment that you walk by it, this demonic dog jumps out of it and scares the shit out of me every single year. So that happens.
All right. Well, we're done talking about Halloween. You're going to want to text the word HOPE to 623AZ Recon. That's HOPE. Does he have a camera on you? So there's video footage of you.
Oh, dude. Oh. Every single time.
That would be fun. I'd like to get my hands on that.
Oh, yeah.
So would our listeners. But you're going to want to text the word HOPE to 623AZ Recon. This is a brand new, incredible program. If you are a first-time home buyer, even a second-time home buyer who qualifies for an FHA product, an FHA loan, don't have a lot of money in the bank for a down payment. And so Justin, we're familiar with down payment assistance programs and grant programs. This is a program called HOPER. HOPER.
Home Ownership Promotion, Education, and Research. That's what it stands for. That's what the acronym stands for. So.
Why can't they? Usually the government does 3-letter acronyms. Why do that?
I don't know.
Go for it.
So what? So okay. So yeah. So what is it? Because and I want to say, because for some people they're listening. I'm not a first-time home buyer. Blah blah blah
Sure.
blah blah blah. But there's a lot of people who listen that have kids and grandkids.
Yeah.
That they would like to see them put themselves on the path to home ownership. Cash can be sometimes of a struggle here. So this could be a great solution for a lot of our listeners.
So the main key here is the research portion of it. So what they've found is most people, after being in a home for 3 years, they start to struggle because they don't have any liquid assets. Their savings account is typically depleted, and they're having to fork out money for maintenance, unforeseen issues. And so the main goal with this program is to educate homeowners on how to continue to save and manage your home. But one of the things that they have them do is put a solar system on the house. Now, the solar system is going to be financed through the first mortgage, but they're paying the borrowers to do this research program. And basically, they're giving 3.5% in the form of a 1099, which is an income document, of their loan amount to purchase a home, or maybe pay off credit card debt in order to qualify for a home, or maybe buy down the interest rate. But again, their goal is to help accumulate savings over this first 3 years of home ownership. And basically, you have to take 6 hours of pre-buying education, and what they're explaining through that process is
It's just like going to traffic school. It's just a Saturday.
Yeah. But they're also educating on what the tax benefits of owning solar, what the solar should be producing in order to save you money on your energy bills, and teaching them about managing your home financially, and what those payments should look like for your individual situation. So I've been very happy with this program. We just got introduced to it a week ago today, and I'm excited for one, that they're allowing us to use a standard FHA program, and they're not dictating what the interest rates are. So a lot of these down payment assistance and grant programs, they dictate what the interest rates are, and they're typically much higher than the interest rates that we're giving out on a standard.
And sometimes
FHA.
that 3.5% has to be paid back.
Sometimes it has to be paid back, and most of the time it's a non-forgivable loan, or there's a period of time, 3 to 7 years, where the loan's forgiven. But typically that hinders you from refinancing your loan because of those second loans that are on the.
And I think the other thing to note, to help our first-time home buyers truly understand, when you're getting an FHA loan, you're typically having to come in on average with 3.5% down, and then you got closing costs on top of that, and so for a lot of people, they may not have that 3.5% down, and so the HOPER program is giving the borrower 3.5% in 1099 income, and so for a lot of people, and especially with the way that we negotiate, if we can get the seller to pay for the closing costs, and HOPER's contributing 3.5%, there are some buyers out there that theoretically could get into a house with no money out of pocket.
You got it. And Ryan brought up a good point before we even came to the show today.
He hasn't said a word in the entire segment, but
you know me, I already got my wheels churning.
Yeah.
But I'm gonna let you go.
He said, can they still contribute? Can a seller still contribute up to 6%? Does this program have an impact on that? And the answer is no. So a seller can contribute up to 6% through FHA, and if you got 6%, we could do tremendous things with that money, buying down the interest rate, temporary buy downs. We can do all kinds of stuff with that money. The other good part about this program compared to DPAs, down payment assistance programs, or grants is it allows us to go off of the FHA minimum FICO score of 580, which a lot of these down payment assistance programs were limited to a 640 credit score. And so that takes out a lot of our borrowers that are qualified for a standard FHA but can't qualify for these grants.
All right, if you'd like some more information about the HOPER program, all you got to do is text the word HOPE to 623-AZ-RECON. That is the word HOPE, because Justin is bringing hope to the masses. To 623-AZ-RECON.
All right, so I read the flyer. I've listened to what you've had to say about it, and so I still have more thoughts on this, because the way that they've postured it is to be more about being more green, right? Which that encompasses more than just solar. Okay, so if I'm buying a home, and let's say it has old windows, there's massive tax rebates that are available for folks that are wanting to get new windows on their home. Is that something that also goes in there, or is that something that we could also benefit from if we wanted to increase the loan amount in order to pay for the solar and for new windows?
At this point, I have no idea with that. This is so new with us. All I've been told at this point is it's strictly for solar.
Okay.
But those are great questions, and the program that they're using through FHA is Go Green. So that is definitely probably a possibility. I'm sure there's some sort of restrictions on what type of windows you could put in based on the performance of the window. But I don't know that answer at this point.
Then I have another question for you that you probably won't be able to answer as well. So
I love that you're throwing these out to me right away.
Yeah. Well, you know, like
but we can figure this out.
Yeah, no, I think it's all good stuff. So if you've ever been through the process of getting solar, the first thing that they do is they do an inspection on the property. They want to make sure that the electrical panel is up to code. They want to make sure that there's all the shutoffs and that it's not going to be a safety hazard. Furthermore, you want to know the age of the roof. Now, I know that when it comes to solar, they do build in those costs, and as a directly related cost to the solar. Is that the case with this as well?
So I don't know about the box itself. I do know that the roof is something that does have to be in a certain there has to be quality to the roof. And I do know that they will replace the roof along with the build-in cost of the solar if the roof needs to be replaced.
So if you're listening to this, I want you to think about the true value of not just the solar that is attached to this. Because if you're getting a great deal on a home and you know that it's going to come with a future expense of having to do work on the roof that you may or may not have in your pocket, or don't know that you may have in your pocket in the future, this is something that you could roll in and keep, either keep that cash in your pocket for future investments or rainy day, but also to give you a more quality home up front, because they're going to have to do that before they install that solar. So
correct.
The other thing that I really want you to lay in on is the type of tax advantages that come along with this type of program, because they've already extended. I imagine that they're going to extend again the tax advantages that come along with doing any type of green energy or upgrades to your home. Speak on that a little bit.
So typically when you're purchasing solar or you're doing a lease on solar, a lot of times those solar companies will take the tax advantage from you in order to, they say, give you a better deal on your solar system. Well, part of this research program and part of making sure that you have funds in your account at that 3-year point is to make sure that you get the benefits, the tax benefits of putting that unit on your property. So they're going to educate you in the pre-purchase education on how to take advantage of those tax benefits. And from my understanding is there's 2 years initially for the tax benefits of the solar system itself. So meaning you're going to get money back on your tax returns due to the fact that you're installing this system on your home.
So even though you're getting 1099 for the income from the 3.5%, more often than not, it's going to be more than offset by the returns that you get from doing the solar
and you may be thinking this, oh, what's a couple $100? No, from what I understand, this is thousands of dollars.
Yeah, it's huge.
And from one of the scenarios that we were looking at when we got introduced to this program, the first year tax advantage was over $12,000. It was just a little bit more than $12,000. So that's a big deal.
All right, if you'd like some more information about the HOPER program, all you got to do is text the word HOPE to 623-AZ-RECON. That's HOPE to 623-AZ-RECON. So I just want to break it down with the HOPER program. So FHA buyer generally needs to come in with 3.5%. Okay, the HOPER program is going to give them through 1099 income, pay them.
Yeah.
3.5%, which that borrower can use for their down payment on their home. But I just wanted to be clear because I think we might have made some assumptions as we were discussing, but I want to be clear. The caveat is you are getting solar on the home. That is not an option. But what's really nice about it is the cost of the solar. You're going to own it. Okay, there's a huge difference between having a solar loan and a solar lien. The type of problems that it can create down the road and lease, the type of problems it can create when you go to sell that house. We could do a whole segment on the horror stories. So you're going to own it. It's going to be financed in your mortgage. You're going
your first mortgage.
Your first mortgage. You're going to get the benefits of huge savings on your monthly utility bill, and then down the road, when you go to sell the property, there is no lease and there is no solar loan. Am I breaking it down pretty?
You're breaking it down perfectly, and that's the goal here. So really excited to use this product. We already have a few people that are taking advantage of it. So I want to be clear here too. I said there was 6 hours of pre-purchase education. After you close on the house, you're still required to do 9 hours of post-close education, and you have 12 months to handle that education. And from what I understand, it's all online for the 9 hours. So that's to me, that's easy, huge benefit. And again, the goal is to create savings through this program.
All right, if you are a first-time home buyer, even a second-time home buyer, but do not have a FHA product on your home, this is a great option if you're a little tight on cash and you are interested in solar. And if you got any kids or grandkids that you would love to put on the path to home ownership, this is a great option. It is called HOPER. To learn more, all you got to do is text the word HOPE to 623-AZ-RECON. That is the word HOPE to 623-AZ-RECON.